Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Newmarket Racecourse here on Wednesday. It is April the 18th, 2018. Gonna look at all the races almost on today's card from Newmarket, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and I mean it around the world. It's an excellent card of racing from Newmarket today. I'm gonna look at almost all the races. The two races I'm not gonna give you a tip in are races 5 and 7, and race 6, I'm gonna give you a half a tip here because there's two horses I like in that race, but it's not 100% I would bet it. But we'll talk about it when we get to that race. But for sure, I'll give you a tip for races 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8. So let's get on to it. Starting off with the opener from Newmarket, the 150. The 150, it's the Weatherbys General Stud Book Handicap, Class 2 Handicap, going for a purse of $34,000. This race is for 4-year-olds and upwards, rated 86 to 100. Fields of 16 horses, going the distance of ground of 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the Rolly Mile turf course. I'm going to give you two horses that I think can win in this race. Those two horses are the one horse, hopefully I say this right, the number 1 horse Ectia or whatever, or the number 3 horse Solar Flare. Those are the two horses I really like. But the one horse at 4 to 1 here, Jim Crowley for Al Maktoum. Roger Varian trades his 4-year-old colt by Breath. This horse's most recent out came on the 6th of October at Ascot, yielding ground 6 furlongs on a Class 2 handicap for the 3-year-olds. This horse finished 4th by 2 3/4 lengths that day, and really just never had a run at the end. Couldn't get that good closing kick. It just wasn't this horse's day to win against those little tougher horses. I think this race is, a bit of a step down in class in my eyes to this race, and I do think this horse will run a lot better. Before that, here at Newmarket on the July course, 13th of July, good ground, 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap. This horse won by a head that day, and he was breaking from the outside stall that day, but it didn't affect him. He won by a head, and he had a great run going 6 furlongs that day. And then at York on the 17th of June, 6 furlongs firm ground, Class 2 handicap. He finished 5th by 3 lengths. He just really couldn't get a good closing kick from a little bit of a wide post draw. But his last 2 races here at Newmarket were very good. He's a winner of his last 2 here, so watch out for him at 4 to 1. Another horse here I like is the 3 horse Solar Flare. 10 to 1. Andrea Attazzini is on this William Knight's trained 6-year-old given by Equano, whatever. Can't speak all of a sudden for some reason. I'm mispronouncing words left and right today. Can't help it. But this 3 horse Solar Flare's last race came a few weeks ago now, 31st of March at Kempton on the all-weather 6 furlongs Class 2 handicap 4-year-old class. He finished 4th by 2 lengths that day. With high weight, he just couldn't get that good closing kick, but it was his first start since August. I just think he really needed the race. Before that, 5th of August at Glorious Goodwood, 6 furlongs Class 2 handicap. His horse finished 8th by 2 3/4 lengths. A very tough race. He just was never there. And then the Group 3 Betfred Chip Chase Stakes at Newcastle, 6 furlongs 1st of July. Horse finished 6th by 8 1/4 lengths. It never really showed up. But this race is a step down in class, and I like him a lot here, second off the break. So watch out for him. So to recap my bets for the first, the 150 from Newmarket, gonna go with the 1 horse. I'm also gonna use the 3 horse also, so 1-3 in the 150 from Newmarket. So now let's get on to race number 2. There's 225 from Newmarket. It is the British 365 European Free Handicap. It's a listed handicap, Class 1 horses, going for a purse of $67,500. It's for 3-year-olds only. Field of 10 horses, going the 1,400 meter trip or 7 furlongs on the turf course, the Rolling Mile turf course. My top pick in this race, I like the number 2 horse Nebo. I'm going to go 2-7-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. 2-7-1 tricast trifecta. Top pick number 2, Nebo. This 3-year-old colt by Kodiak. Frankie Dettori is on this Charles Hill train. 3-year-old colt by Kodiak. This horse's most recent run came on the 28th of October. That came over at Newbury. 7 furlongs in the Group 3 Bathwick Tire Stakes. This horse won by a half length that day. At 4 to 1 on very wet ground, he quickened up nicely and had a very nice victory. An all-around great race. The horse's last few runs were pretty decent. Before that, in the Group 2 Criterium de Maison Lafitte at Maison Lafitte, 6 furlongs the 13th of October, he finished 2nd by a head. It was an all-out finish. He just missed, but it was a very respectable run that day. And then at Newbury, in the Group 2 Dubai Duty Free Mill Reef Stakes, this horse finished 3rd by 1/4 lengths, and he just kind of weakened at him in the final 2 strides of the race. It just wasn't his day to win, but I like him here off the break. It's a kind of a little bit of a step down in class, even with a little bit of a heavy weight. I think he should run a big one. Watch out for this horse today. So to recap my bets for the second race from Newmarket, the 225, it's the listed Bet365 European Free Handicap. Gonna go with the 2 horse Nebo. Gonna go 2-7-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 3, the 3 o'clock from Newmarket's featured on the afternoon. 3 o'clock, it's the Group 3 Earl of Sefton Stakes. It's a Group 3 race for Class 1 horses going for a purse of $81,000. It's 4-year-olds and upwards. Field of 9 horses going the 1,800-meter trip, or 1 mile and 1/8, or a mile and 1 furlong, or 9 furlongs on the Rolly Mile turf course. And for any Americans that are watching this video, the Rolly Mile is not a mile race course. It's actually about a mile and a quarter, 2,000 meters straight away, no turn, just keep going straight for a mile and a quarter, 10 furlongs. So it's very unique. We don't have a race course like that in America. The longest straightaway I think here in America is 3 furlongs with a chute, basically. I think Los Alamitos has a straightaway without a chute that's about a little over 2 furlongs, which is, for European standards very short, but for American standards that's a long straightaway. But I'm getting off subject. Back to this race here, the Earl of Sefton. My top pick, I like the 8-horse Robin of Navan. I'm gonna go 8-4-6 in the tricast of the trifecta. 8-4-6 tricast trifecta. Top pick number 8, Robin of Navan. James Doyle's on his Henry Dunlop trained 5-year-old horse by American Post. He's making his second start of the year. His most recent one came about 6 weeks ago now, the 6th of March at Chantilly in France. 1 mile, 600 meters on the all-weather in a handicap. He finished third by 1.5 lengths. He just really never had a good run. It wasn't a bad run, but it was only 4 other rivals, and he really didn't try. And I don't think they were really going for the victory that day. I think second off the layoff here in this Group 3 with more money, I do think this horse ran a lot better. Before that, in the Longines Hong Kong Cup at Sha Tin in Hong Kong, Monoquarter, December the 10th, this horse finished 8th by 6 3/4 lengths that day. And again, he just never really had a run that day. That was a very tough race. And then before that, Newmarket locally, 14th of October, mile 8th, in the Group 3 Darley Club Stakes. This horse finished second by 1/4 lengths behind Monarch's Glen. This horse closed up well. It was a very respectable second place finish, one of his best races in 2017. He only won once in 2017, but he made the victory count in very nice fashion. But he's due for a victory at 5-1, second off the layup. I love him a lot. I think Deauville will probably the favorite here. The 4-horse Deauville for Ian O'Brien will probably need a race. I fancy him a little bit, but I rather see him next start out and back him there, but not here. But watch out for the 8-horse Robin of Navan today. So to recap my bets for the 3 o'clock, the third race from Newmarket, it's the featured Group 3 Earl of Sefton. Gonna go with the 8-horse Robin of Navan. Gonna go 8-4-6 in the tricast of the trifecta. So now let's get on to race number 4, the 335 from Newmarket. The 335, it's the Group 3 Lawn Wades Stud Neil Gwynn Stakes. It's a Class 1 race going for a purse of $81,000. We have it's for 3-year-old fillies only, field of 12 horses, going with 1,400-meter trip or 7 furlongs on the turf course. My top pick in this race, I like the number 11 horse here, Threating. Gonna go 11-1-5 in the tricast of the trifecta. 11-1-5 tricast trifecta. Top pick number 11, Threating. 3-year-old filly by Exceed and Excel. James Doyle's on this Mark Johnson trained Maktoum horse. This horse's most recent running came on the 30th of September at Newmarket. 6 furlongs in the Group 1 Chevrolet Park Stakes. This horse finished 7th by 6.5 lengths, but that was a very tough race. Just really was under the ride most race and really never had a run. With a big step down in Class 2 at Group 3 here today, even off the break, I do think this horse should run a lot better. Before that, the 24th of August at the Ebor meeting at York, 6 furlongs on yielding ground in the Skybet Lowther Stakes. This horse won by 1 3/4 lengths. This horse quickened up nicely and had a very nice victory that day. And then first career out in Glorious Goodwood, 6 furlongs in Class 2 Maidens Filly. Horse won by 6 lengths. Another easy victory for this horse. Like I said, with a big step down class here today, I think this horse run a very major race, so watch out. So to recap my bets for the 4th, the 335 from Newmarket, it's the Lawn Wades Stud Neil Gwynn Stakes. Gonna go with the number 11 horse, Threating. Gonna go 11-1-5 in the tricast of the trifecta. So we're gonna skip over race number 5, the 410 from Newmarket, because it's a 2-year-old race that's very wide open, and I have a rule personally that I don't look at any 2-year-old races in the UK before the month of June, because here in America for the 2-year-old races we have the workout patterns, and for the UK races or the European races for the 2-year-olds we have nothing. You just get the pedigree, and you're basically petting pedigree, which is I just wouldn't feel confident giving out a tip here, at least in America with the workout forms. You get to see if this horse visited the gate in training. Some of these horses probably have never even seen the gate before this afternoon, which is the reason why I'm not going to look at this race, because it's a very wide open race that I wouldn't feel comfortable giving out a pick. So we're going to skip over that. Race number 6 is a race. I'll give you 2 horses that I think can win here in the 445. I think both John Gosden horses here. The one horse award-winning, a first-time starter, 3-0 filly by Dubawi. I think this horse has a great pedigree here, and I think he can run a big one. And I think the other John Gosden horse here, the 8-horse Rococo, another 3-0 filly by Dubawi, could run a big one. But this is the kind of race, if I really want to play a small forecast here, box it, or exact box here, I might play it. But it's another race. I like the pedigrees on that horse, but I'm not sure if I'll really, it's not 100% positive that I'll give out really go to the bank on it. But those are 2 horses maybe that can win. But like, to tell you the truth, I really wouldn't go to the bank and bet it very big, a very small investment on my behalf. But so those are 2 horses I like for the 445. The 520 is another race. It's very wide open. A few first-time starters. I'm not going to give you a tip because I don't feel confident in any of the horses. So race number 7, we're going to skip over, and we're going to head on to race number 8 now from Newmarket, the 555. It's the finale on the card. The 555. It's the Bet365 handicap, Class 3 handicap, going for a purse of $27,000. This race is for 3-year-olds only, rated 76 to 95. Field of 11 horses going the 2,000-meter trip, or 1 mile and 1/4 on the turf course. My top pick in this race, I like the number 8 horse, Bailey's Accelerate. I'm going to go 8-1-2 in the TriCast of the trifecta. 8-1-2, TriCast trifecta. Top pick number 8, Bailey's Accelerate. Joe Fanning is on this Mark Johnston trained 3-0 colt by X-Celebration. This horse's most recent running came on the 11th of October. That came at Nottingham, yielding ground 1,800 meters, mile and 8th in a Class 3 handicap for the 2-year-olds. This horse finished second by 2 lengths that day. He couldn't catch the winnership of the Fen, who ran in front of him and won quite nicely. This horse was just second best. He had high weight that day, also 131 pounds. Today carrying 125. I think it's a lot better weight. Before that, Kempton, a mile and a quarter, and a Class 4 novice. Horse finished second by 1 1/4 lengths. Wide post draw, heavy weight of 134 pounds. Just wasn't going to get the victory. It wasn't the best of second place finishes. But before that, Beverly on the turf course, 7 furlongs, firm ground, Class 5 novice race. Horse won by neck. He quickened up nicely and had a very nice victory. I think getting the 2,000-meter trip here today, which is horses I think bred for, I do like this horse here a lot. At 12 to 1, I'll take my chances. So to recap my bets for the 555, the 8th race from Newmarket, going to go with the 8 horse, Bailey's Accelerates. I'm going to go 8-1-2 in the TriCast of the trifecta. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5. Good luck, everybody.